Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope everyone is doing okay. I have created a playlist on my YouTube channel for beginners to basically start learning Photoshop, or beginners designers who have just started working on Photoshop or who are eager to learn Photoshop. This tutorial or this playlist will be mainly focused on those people. So in this complete playlist, I'm gonna be breaking down all different aspects, different concepts of Photoshop. For example, concept of layers, concept of masks, concept of smart filters, concept of smart objects. Then we're gonna go onwards with manipulations and everything else, or face retouching and everything else. In today's tutorial, my main focus is on the concept of layers. This is what I'm gonna be teaching you. Concept of layers. This is really important. You should understand and you should know this, that how the layers work in Photoshop. Okay, so let's start with it. So I'm just gonna create a new canvas. So I'm just gonna go to files. So what I just did, I go to files, I'm gonna go new, and then this is what a new document window looks like. In this tab, I'm on recent tab. These are all the canvases I've already made in the past and worked with. So if you're new to Photoshop, or you've just downloaded it and you're using it like once or twice, you might not have this much canvases already made. So I'm just gonna go towards print. You guys will have this. So I'm gonna go to print and I'm gonna select A4, and this is the width, this is the height. You can select the units. Do you want it to be in millimeters, centimeters, inches, pixels? So you can select that. I can name it. I can name the project right here, right then, but we can also save it later. So for now, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna, by default resolution of an A4 page in Photoshop is 300, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change it to 600. 600. And look at this. This is set on pixels per inch. This is how we read it, like 600 ppi, pixels per inch. Now what it means is that by default in an A4 size canvas, Photoshop put in 300 resolutions, 300 pixels, not 300 resolution, 300 pixels in one square box inch in the canvas. So what I've done here is that I've changed 300 resolution into 600. That means that I've increased the resolution by twice. So I can select the color mode as well, RGB or CMYK, most commonly used. So I'm gonna click on RGB and I'm gonna click on create. So this is an A4 size canvas that I've just created. Now this is my layer panel. This is my background layer, which is the main canvas. Now, so in this layer panel, I have nothing right now. But when I'm gonna start adding in things, the layer's gonna multiply. Now what I mean is, for example, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select a shape. So this is the shape tool. On the left, these are all the tools. Okay, and I'm gonna go and select a rectangle tool, and I'm gonna create a rectangle. I'm gonna change the color so that we can all see. So this is a red rectangle, and when I created this, have a look at the layers. This is background layer, which is locked. This is the new rectangle layer that I just created, which is red. Okay, what I can do to avoid further confusion in future when I'm gonna be editing it, or maybe, you know, the best practices of Photoshop, you can say. When I created this rectangle, by default Photoshop set rectangle 1, but for my understanding, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna name it red rectangle rather than rectangle 1. Yeah, so to do that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna double click on rectangle 1. Double click. So now I can edit this. I'm gonna change it to red, red rectangle, so that I can know that this is the red rectangle layer. Now, in order to explain you the concept of layers, I need more than one layer. Yeah, so for that I'm gonna create a copy of this. So what I can do is I can either drag it to this icon, right, to the left, the icon left to the bin. I'm gonna drag it and drop it here to make a copy, or I can just click Ctrl J on my keyboard. On Mac it would be Command J. So it will create a copy. And again, what I'm gonna do is, first I'm gonna bring it down. I'm gonna change the color so that we can identify both of them. And again, I'm gonna change the name of the layer. Okay, GRDN. So here we go. So I've got one green rectangle and I've got one red rectangle. Now see the orientation of the layers. Background layer, which is locked, red rectangle and green rectangle. Now, so this is what you'll have to understand. Now look on my layer panel. The red rectangle is below green rectangle, right? That means in the canvas, red rectangle is behind green. So red rectangle is right below green rectangle on my layer panel. That means my red rectangle is behind green on my canvas, right? So if I want to take this green back of the red rectangle, what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna drag this green rectangle down to red rectangle, so it's gonna flip, right? So the green rectangle is now on the back of red rectangle, right? Simple as that. So let me create another copy. Ctrl J, and I'm gonna drag it up so that I can see it, and I'm gonna change the color to blue. Okay, and let's keep it like this. So right now, if I see the canvas, what I can see the green rectangle is at the very end or at the very back, and then I have the red rectangle, and then I have the blue rectangle. And if you see the layers on my layers panel, green is actually at the very back of the canvas. You can see it here because it is on the very end of my layer panel. Now if I want this green to be at the top, I'm just gonna drag it up, and here we go, right? Simple as that. So this is the basic concept of the orientation of the layers. Thank you all for staying till the end of the video. Have a great day. Bye bye. If you guys want to reach me out through social media, my Instagram is linked in the bio. Thank you all.